We are continuing on Shiurim on Otzrot Chaim. We are on page Daf Chav Zayin Amud Beis. And we're starting in the edition of Rav Matuk Midvash, is Shin Ayin Hey. So we're starting a new Shaar now, it's called Shaar Rafach. So we finished talking about the Partzufim, Baruch Hashem. We got a very introductory look into the build-up of the Partzufim. We got an introduction into the Halbasha, how one Partzuf connects to the other Partzuf. Now a new subject. We were going to speak about the nitzutzim that fell down with the Shivach Keli in Bia, and we're going to speak about that at length over here, because this is one of the longest prakim except for Shaar Nekudim, and Shaar Nekudim is around 10 prakim, this is around 5, and Otzrot Chaim, if not mistaken, it's 7 prakim. So it's less than the Shaar Nekudim, but one of the longest prakim that we have. And okay, that's basically it, without going into too much detail. It's a little bit technical, but again, all of this study really is a bit technical until we move into the next level, which is a bit deeper, and we start to understand a little bit more of the lomdus, the connectivity between all these sha'arim. Okay, so let's just jump into this limud over here. Again, Shaar Rafach, pereck Aleph. Ve'ata tzarich shenevar be'ezer ofen haya ibur hazah betoch partzuf hazeh so we finished off the last pereck speaking about the Ibur process, how the Ibur process is a process by which one Partzuf is developed within another Partzuf. Like we see in our own eyes over here, our mother carries a child, and while the child is being carried in the mother's stomach, it is being nourished, it's being fed and taken care of, and all the rectification which are needed in the Ibur and the development of the Ibur are had within that stage, called the Ibur. Same thing by the Partzufim, all the rectification of the Ibur, that means the Hainu Zad that broke, and which is now returned back into the Ibur stage, into Ima, is getting all of rectification. He's getting all his rectification and Nuk in the Ibur stage contained in Ima. V'tchila tzarich ותחיל צורך שנבר עניין שלוש הבחינס שיש בזה ולכולם צורך תיקון על ידי עיבור הזה. Now there's 3 stages that we're going to list right over now, that all of these need a tikkun על ידי עיבור הזה. הראשון הוא בחינס אורוס של המלוכים שנסתלקו מן הכלי ועולו למעלה So the first level we're speaking about, which is going to be, again, all these levels we speak about, is a tikkun which is happening in the Ibur stage. Again, there's 3 levels: Ibur, Yenika, and Gadlus that the Partzuf goes through. We're talking about the more simple element level, which is called the Ibur stage. Now, in the Ibur stage, we spoke about rectification. The first rectification is talking about rectifying the oiros of the Partzuf. Okay, so what happened in the oiros? What happened to the zun? We're talking about zun, which is zay tachtonim of the spheres that came up in the 9, the act they broke. Now, what happened is the kelim fell into bia, or what's going to be made bia, and the oiros went up olu and into atzilus. Now, the Mefashim are been metame on this lashon over here. The olu lemala, the oiros actually didn't go up in atzilus. The oiros were in atzilus, and if anything, the oiros went down to the lowest part of atzilus. So it's lav davka, just lafuke, the yerida of the kelim. That's why it says olu or oiros, but the oiros actually didn't go up. So that's the first thing that's going to be mesukin inside, is that the oil which was left without a keli and it was dropped from its higher positions to a low position, that's going to be rectified in the Ibur of Ima. Secondly, in this rectification, Hasheni hi b'bchinas Rafach netzutzot shelo or shenishoru b'toch hakelim behiyotem shvurim k'dei leachyotem chiyos mitzumtzom she'al yedei ken yeh ba'em mitzius larzol lichyos v'lesaken ata al yedei iro. So what we're speaking about here, he's defining for us now a very important concept that we're going to take with us all through Otzrot Chaim and all through the Kabbalists, which is called Rafach netzutzos. You ever hear of Rafach netzutzos?
When you finished it.
Okay. Rafach is a gematria 288 netzutzos. What are these netzutzos, sparks? In English, I saw it written called the holy sparks. Take it or leave it.
Well, Nitzitz is a spark.
Right? The holy sparks. Yeah, that's big difference. Holy sparks. Okay, what are these holy sparks? These are the sparks, as he gives us a definition, the Rav Chaim Vital, B'Shem Rabo, the Arizal, that these are the sparks that went down, this is the light went down into Bia, following the Kalim, and entering the Shivrei Kalim, which fell into Bia, in order to nurture them, keep them alive, because otherwise they would just dry out.
What you're saying isn't fitting in the words.
Mm-hmm.
Where's beer in this?
Well, we know the Shivrei Kalim fell into Bia, right?
I know, but I mean, you don't put it. It's.
Let's do that again.
Where is that here?
והשני היא בחינת רפח ניצוץ של אור שנשארו בתוך הכלים בהיותם שבורים. These are the ניצוצות that stayed inside the kelim as they broke.
Why didn't they come out?
1 second. You want to touch the words? I'm going to touch the words.
Okay.
Now, when they broke, we know that they fell in the Bia. Okay, we saw that in the previous pakim. So you see that Nitzutzit went down with the Shivrei Kalim into Bia. Why did they go down? That's your question. Why did they go down? In order to keep these Shivrei Kalim alive. Remember this definition. It's very important. Rafach Nitzutzit went down with the Kalim to keep them alive. שעל ידי כן יהיה בהם מציאות לחזור להחיוס ולתקן עתה על ידי עיבור. Because why was that? In order to give them a chiyus, in order to, when the time comes for them to go out of Bia, and to go back into a world of Atzilus, in order to get their Tchias HaMeisim, right? They will be able to do that. These little nitzutzos will give them that possibility to keep them alive and to give them the ichatim how to go back into Atzilus. All right?
Are these nitzutzos something separate to the ore, or it's part of the ore which just happens to manage to do what it does?
It breaks off the ore. That's right. Breaks off the original ore.
Yeah, no,
the keli, you had ore.
No, but
the majority of the ore stayed in Atzilus, and some of them split from this original ore
and went
into the keli.
Is this split ore, as it were, a new madrega of ore, or it's simply the ore which is having to do things?
We have that. Either it's the original ore or it's some other type of ore.
Right, well, that was my question.
Right, okay, so the original ore.
It's the original.
So, you know, like a...
I mean, as it were, you could have, it could have been interchangeable with another 288 bits of ore, which the mice didn't stay down.
All that?
There's nothing miyuchad in this Rafach. It just happens to be these Rafach, but it could have been any of the whole ore that was a standard. It could have been either.
That's not true.
It's not true.
No, that's not true.
So this Rafach is unique.
It is unique, but it comes already. Where does it originate from? From the original ore. Okay, we'll see exactly the different levels in the ore itself.
Fine.
We'll see if there's an ab and there's a sag and a man and a ben. There's different levels of ore. Again, from the original ore. Okay, that's very good. So you move on to the next stage. We're not up to that yet. Right, so that's the definition. Now you have to understand the ore Rafach, which stays on top of the keli. There's a Rafach which stays inside the keli. There's Meduyuk over here from the Rav that we're talking about the type of Rafach. Again, Rafach is Rafach, which is going to be in the keli, Tocha keli. We're talking that's the type of Rafach, not to get confused with the other type of nitzutz which stays on top of the keli. Now, weiter. Va'al tetamim is it, and don't be surprised when I tell you this. Kikein odom. Like, how do we find this in our mitzvahs? Because you can ask, right? Arizal always brings us along. How do I know? How do I have an inkling of what's going on in the spiritual world? Because I look at myself. I see from my own goof, I see Hashem. If I cannot see this mitzvahs of Rafach in this mitzvahs that we live in, there's a problem. It doesn't fit into this rule. So it must be, this Rafach situation must be duplicated in this Gashmi world. Where do we find this? He gives an example. When a person dies and his neshama is poreach and leaves his goof, nishar chelik min nafsho betoch haguf. You have to understand that the entire neshama doesn't go out. There's a little bit of the nefesh, which is the lowest part of the neshama. Again, neshama is a generic name for 5 different parts of the neshama called the Ramchi. Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chai, Yechida. So the lowest of those 5 levels is called the nefesh. The nefesh stays in a person's guf even after death. Kedei, why is that? Why doesn't it just go back up and return back to source? Kedei, she'al yedei ze yochol lakum b'tchias ha'meisim. Interesting reason. The reason why the nefesh has stayed in a person's guf after death, in order that he can come back to tchias ha'meisim. He can be revived.
And this is in the Luz?
In the Luz one, yeah. וכמו שכוסו בספר זוהר פרשת שלח לך דף קוף עין המלד א' אבל השתה, this is the Lashon of the Zohar, פקדונה איהי לנפשי דאי בשכיחו גב גרמה עד לא על בשכה. Okay, because the different Lashonis from the Zohar, we're going to bring different places that we see this Lashonis of the Zohar telling us about this type of spiritual entity being deposited on a particular bone in the body of the guf, of the mace, in order to keep it alive. Gam b'daf kuf samach tes amud aleph be'inin havle de galme di ishtarem b'kivwa. This is a musik that we see often, called Havle de Galmi, I don't know, I'm translating it in English, the Hevel of the Galmi, the Ishtar, which stays in the kever. We see this, B'maise Balas Oiv, the Shmuel. How did Shmuel find out what was going to happen in the future? He went to this Balas Oiv, she put the thing in her mouth, and she was able to bring down the neshama, because the neshama was in the bone. This saw a pasuk, Ashvi v'tzachtzechos nafshecha v'atzmosayech yachlitz yachlitz. Okay, and that's the sort of the pasuk that Kadosh Baruch Hu promises the lachluchis. That's tzachtzechos is lashon lachluchis of all the ruach of the soul will bring back this, will stay in the kever. B'tzimon al chelkei neshama. That's where the pasuk continues. It's going to stay on the bones. Okay, so that is the inyan of the Rafach, which is the second level that needs to be misukin, taken care of in the ibul, which is going to be an imo. Now the third part of the tikkun process will be shlishi b'chinas kelim. Atzmo shenishbu v'yoldu el abrei. There he says mefosh, right? The kelim yoldu b'bria. V'kol shalosh b'chinas elo tzarich letaken al yedei ibo kemo shenivar lekema b'ezrat Hashem. So all 3 facets of this sphere needs to be taken care of. First of all, the kelim. I'm reversing the order. B'chinas shlisha is the kelim needs to be sorted out. There's a tikkun. Why? Because it broke. Now you have to glue the pieces together. That's the first thing. Second of all, the Rafach Netzutzot also have to be brought out of the Biyah. They don't belong there. And the third thing that needs to be addressed is the actual Or. The Or itself lost a level. It used to be very high in that Tzilus, went brought down. So you're going to bring all those 3 elements into Bina, which is the mother, and she's going to recite it in a stage called Ibo. Okay, now let's go more into depth into our sugya, which is called the Rafach. What exactly is the mohus? Well, again, this is a long. We're not going to learn all the answers to these questions, but we have another 5 prakim, which is quite long. We're going to discuss this in detail. Here we go. In a Rafach Nitzutzim, hem elu sheniva ata b'ezrat Hashem. So this is the makor of Rafach Nitzutzot, even though the Arizal speaks about it everywhere, in every different Shaar, but this is the makor of the Inim. V'hin, in this ba'aki sheva nikudas atachtonis anikraim sheva malachim. We know the Zayin Malachim, all the 7 nikudas that came out, the 7 bottom nikudas came out from the Einaim De'ai. Shem b'chinas zun, and they are, in other words, for the Zayin Malachim is Zon, the Shem ben Haniska, because we know there's a Musa called Ab, Sag, Ma'ub, and these are the 4 major and essential building blocks of all creation, as we spoke of many times. Ab, Sag, Ma'ub, and so what broke in essence is only the lowest part of the Ben, okay? Lowest part of the Ben, which is the Neshama of the Zon. Sheyotzu menikve enayim shel Adam Kadmo, which came out from the eyes of Adam Kadmo. Kasher yotzu b'chinas kelim b'tchila. They came out b'chinas only kelim, which is the lowest form of the, again, in the sphere of 2 things. You have kelim and Or. First the kelim came out. Then the oil came out to be going into the keli. As the oil came into the keli, it broke the keli because it wasn't able to. It was premature. It wasn't able to absorb such great light. And therefore, what happened? As we said many times, the shivra kelim fell into bia or bria. Now, va'oret nistalku va'omdu. See here, it doesn't say goes up, but rather nistalku va'omdu. It stayed in place. Lemala be'atzilut keniska le'el ba'oret. Actually, went further down into the world of Atzilus. V'yirida zu hi nikra misa. Now, anytime you find that a keli or any madrega goes from one madrega to the other madrega, it's called misa. Why we know this? For example, we live in this world. A person which leaves this world is dead, goes into the next world. That's called misa. Okay, lefi shekol mi sheyotze. This is a musag brought in the Zohar. Lefi shekol mi sheyotze me'olamo. Anybody who leaves this world or his world, depends wherever he is. Ve'yored v'olech le'olam achel uzuloto yikore etzlo misa. That's the definition. Therefore, these kelim that were where were the kelim originally? In Atzilus. And they went down into a place which is called where? Bria. So they're leaving from one world to the other world. That's called Misa. That's the definition. Misa is leaving your place where you are now and going to a different place. Interesting touch, but that's the way the Zohar touches up. We know those are the 7 last nekudos. Those are the 7 malachim. As we said many times, it's called Zun of the world of Atzilus. All the same words. Zayin Malachim, Zayin Tachtonim, Zun, all the same thing. As we just said now. We learned that the Achoraim fell down, not into Bia, but rather into the lowest part of Atzilus, didn't leave their world. Although we can't call Misa by Abba V'Ima, but rather we're going to say there was a bitul. That's the lotion of there is a bitul de Achoraim, not Misa. And by Keser, only the Nai of the Achoraim fell down. That's called only a pagam. So 3 levels of damage. There was a pagam by Keser, a bitul by Abba V'Ima, and a complete destruction and shvira and misa by Zoom. Okay, those are 3 levels that happen by the shvira. We call it general, the klaliistic name of shvira. It's like a person who dies. She'az nifredes nishmoso migufo. A person dies, his neshama, his nefesh leaves his guf. V'neshama nistalekes, and his guf goes out. V'tashuv limkomo, and he goes back to his place, to the olam neshamas. Hamite el ha'elokim asher notna, because it comes from there. V'gufo hu afa yoshuv el ha'aris, and his guf disintegrates into the ground. V'yored mimidrogoso shehaya b'chinas adam. He used to be b'chinas adam. Now he's b'chinas afa. V'in yizeh nikra Misa. So he's leaving this world and going into a different world. Weiter. Ken ader ze ira el malachim eilon. That's exactly what happened to the malachim. Ki nishmosam shehem ha'orot shelehem olu limkomam hu ha'atzilut, because their neshamas went into Atzilus. Well, they actually stayed in Atzilus. Oma gufam, which is actually shehem ha'kelim shelehem yordu lemata b'bria. And their kelim, he's just repeating himself over and over again. V'sham ha'isa kvurosa. V'hine, kemo she'guf odam tachton ba'olam hazeh nikaver b'kever. In the same way we bury a person a kever, and it says in the Pasuk, Ne'emar bo v'nafsho alav te'avel, right? You may avel on this neshama, on this nefesh. V'nisha oisa b'china shel ruchnius ala tzomos nikra b'zo behevle degam keniska, and the hevel, that means the last part of the nefesh stays on this bone, as you mentioned. That's called the hevel degalme. Why? Kedei sheyi lo ezechius, in order to keep that bone alive. Kedei, why? Sheyochlo itkayim al zman tchia, in order to stay there, keep it alive until tchias amesim. Ki im lo haya nisha b'hem shum lachluchis, that the hevel degalme, lo haya kamim b'tchias amesim. V'zeh hini ma she'omu chazal. Yes, she'enu kamim b'tchias amesim. Yisibas ha'oven, right? We know, for example, somebody's example, right? Kimo oven haribis. Somebody's marbe b'ribis. right? Is Eino Kom B'Tchias HaMeisim. V'Oren HaKofer B'Tchias HaMeisim, so Kofer B'Tchias HaMeisim, also Kiyotze is not, doesn't get up B'Tchias HaMeisim. Ki also Oren Gom Listalek HaRuchnis HaHu Me'Lachlech Atzomos HaHem B'Kever V'Nish'orem B'Yeveshim Ve'enim Yecholim Shuv Lichiyos. Do you hear that? He's telling the Yesod of B'Tchias HaMeisim of in this portion, right? How do you make a person come back to life? How do you make a person come back to life? By the simple fact of having this lachluchis, which is on the loose bone, taking that and recreating him. It means like this. I saw a pshat. I'm not sure if I saw it over here, but the Kerem Shlom, I think it's the Kerem Shlom that says this pshat. He says a gewalt here in B'Tchias HaMeisim. He says, what's a pshat in B'Tchias HaMeisim? He says it later on. Okay, I'll tell you now. He says the vault in B'Tchias HaMeisim is the vault of Aliyas Man. You hear what I'm saying?
Aliyas Man.
Aliyas Man, there's always a process in Kabbalah. This is the first Hakdama Shiur we gave. In Kabbalah, there's only two things: the Aliyas Man, the going up of the Shefa, and bringing down Shefa. Okay, we influence on high, and they influence on us. It's a go between us and them. Okay, you never get anything if you don't ask for it. Okay, so you have to ask for it. We daven for something called Aliyas Man. And since we've asked something, they reciprocate and they send us back what's called mad. Mad.
Why was it to the Zman?
Zman, Aliyas Man, Mem Nun. Man, Maim Nukfim. And Yeridas Mad. That's all Kabbalah. I just summarized all Kabbalah. Mamash in those two words. Aliyas Man and Yeridas Mad. Zok the Kerem Shlomo in Ois Gimel. That's exactly how B'Tchias HaMeisim works. B'Tchias HaMeisim pshat is what's pshat, that the Eibishter just comes in Chai Meisim. You can't say, but look at Kerem Shlomo now. It works al yidei the havli the galma. I know a person is in his cave, and he has this loose bone which is indestructible. As the Gemara says, they tried crushing it, they tried burning it, and so on and so forth. It does not destroy it. It does not become destroyed. It could be pshat because it has this havli the galma. It has this nitzos of the nefesh, nitzos nefesh on this loose bone. And when it comes to the time of B'Tchias HaMeisim, there's an Aliyas Man, that havle de gamma, which is hovering over the wall, goes up to Shemayim, makes a call, and that automatically goes into the system. Aliyas Man and years is Man, and it comes back down and is mechayim. Bring the shefa comes back down. That's the Kerem Shlomo. That's a gewalt pshat. Okay, so let's continue from here. Now, and that's again, we're always medame this Indian into the misa of the Zayim Malachim, the Zoom, which is the Partzufim, to always bring it back to this dimin over here that we're speaking about autumn. Okay, let's go back. V'zeh saw the pasuk v'hisbi'a v'tzachtzachon nafshecha ba'atzmotecha yachlitz. והייתי כגן רבה וכמוצא מים אשר לא יחזבו מימיו. Okay, it's a pasuk in Shaar, pasuk Yud Aleph. כי על ידי לחלוכיס מימי האורה, this hevel, you touch it up, it's a hevel or it's a lachluchis of this water, of this ore, okay, whatever that means. shenichnas be'atzomas, it actually goes into the atzomas. It keeps it, preserves it, and then when it's time, it comes out of the bone and goes up to Shemayim and Aliyas Man. וזה סוד גם כן מה שאומר ביחזקאל, והנה הצומס היבשוס ההם, שאומרו רז"ל שהיה איש אחד נויטן ריבס. Right? He came down and he said, why did this person didn't get up at B'Tchias HaMeisim? He says, so they got a bas kol that told him that because this person was Ma'al B'Ribis, that's why he didn't come back. Alkein yashu atzomov bli shum lachluchitz mitzvah v'lo kom b'B'Tchias HaMeisim hahu. So that's why this particular person who was Ma'al B'Ribis, he had no lachluchitz on his bone, and therefore he calls it lachluchitz as a mitzvah. The mitzvah causes the lachluchitz to stay there, and therefore he wasn't called B'Tchias HaMeisim. עדר זה גם בשבע מלוכים האלו שנשאר בהם קצת רוחניס, כדי להחיוס את הכלים ההם בזמן תחייסם, שהוא זמן תיקון אצילוס. Same thing with the world of Atzilus. Now he says a very big cloud. In mine, I underlined this next line. It's a very crucial line and very important to understand all of it. V'da klal zeh, you should know this following rule. Ki kol ma sheyesh ba'olam hazeh, anything you see in this world, you have to know one thing. Hakol hu kedugmas ma shahaya be'elu hashem malachim. Politic line. Ve'ein kol chadosh tachat hashemesh. You have to understand that everything we see here, everything, he says, ein kol chodesh tachat hashemesh. There's nothing that we see in this world, dugmas here in this world, that is not included in the Zayin Malachim that broke. The Zayin Malachim that broke, there wasn't just a mashahava hava, and not that it did not affect us. It had no kesher with us whatsoever. We're in the independent bria and creation, as opposed to the Zayin Malachim that happened, break and so on. So, but rather, the Zayin Malachim created all of the Metzias that we find in front of us. If it wasn't for the breaking of the Zayin Malachim, we had no Metzias, no creation whatsoever. The warping line. I'll read that again. V'dat klal zeh. Ki kol ma sheyesh ba'olam hazeh, anything and everything you see in this world, hakol hu kedugmas ma shahaya be'elu shivas malachim. It's the dogma. We find everything in this world over there. The pshat is because they created us. You understand? All the nitzutzes came down to this world and created everything. Well, that's the dogmos. The shchosha devorim is in the Zayin Malachim. Ve'en kol chodesh tachas hashemesh u'mitzvah sheva malachim v'tikunam hu inyan tchias hamesim shelahem lahem v'chein legufim v'shafelim le'otzid lovo. Okay, all that is included in the inyan of the Zayin Malachim, tchias hamesim v'chula v'chula. והנה, רוחניוס הנשאר בהם, הנקרא הבלי דגרבה. הם בחינס ניצוצות האורז העליונים, שנשאר בכלים המסים ההם. ואיקריוס האורז נסתלקו למעלה, וקצת ניצוצות נשארו בכלים לחיוס בזמן תיקון אצילוס. He's just repeating himself. The Iker Or stayed in Atzilus, and the rest of the nitzutzos came down from the original Or. והנה, Mispar nitzutzos hahem him Rafach. The number of nitzutz sparks that came down is 288. Right? And there's a smach in the pasuk of Parashas Bereshis. So the Aretz hayta tov v'vohu. And the pasuk continues. Ruach Elokim merachefes al pnei hamayim. Merachefes. You hear? Shehem b'chinas malachim and nikraim al shem hamalchus. Hamalchus. The Adam Kadmon Anikra Eretz Edom. Eretz Edom, right? Again, the Pasuk says, V'aretz hayta tov v'ovu, v'ruach Elokim harefetz al pnei haaretz, al pnei hamayim. Now we know that it's stated in the Pasuk in Parashas Vayishlach. It says these are the Malachim that died from Eretz the Malachim Eretz Edom. What's pshat Eretz Edom? We ask the question, and these Malachim, Goshim Malachim from Eretz Edom, they make the Malachim, and the Malachim make us. What's the whole episode? So Zok Arizal, no, you got it wrong. The Eretz is synonymous for Malchus. Malchus is the bottom of all the Partufim. This is the basis of all basisim. That's the Malchus. Now Edom, what does Edom mean? Edom means redness. It doesn't mean the land of Edom. It means the redness. It means what's redness? When you see reds, right, like this thing over here, it makes you think of dinim. Starke dinim, starke justice, right? That's what the Malachim were all about. The Malachim weren't kulu rachamim, but rather they had this taruvus of dinim inside, and that's why they broke, because they had to differentiate between the chelik rachamim and chelik dinim. That's one of the sibos given for the Shivrei Malachim. Shemesu v'itchavru v'nasu tohu v'vohu. They broke and they made what's called the tohu v'vohu. V'nish'ar k'tzat nitzutzim nikroim ruach elokim merachefes al haaretz aleihem. And we know that what the pasuk says, the ruach elokim merachefes. V'teva merachefes is mem tov reish peches. That's meis Rafach. Ki Rafach nitzutz zayitoch hamesim aniskorim. Do you hear? There. Rachefes is 288. Shemes, that died. Very nice. Let's continue. Upashutu sha'otz ha'meulim nalu lemala. Or bechinas ha'gurua shebe'er mehem ha'nitzutzo. Coming to your point now. V'bechinas ha'gurua, hear that. He's setting levels in the or. There's a chelik of the or which is me'ulim. This is what you're going about. And there's a chelik of the or which is gurua shebehem. Hem nitzutzo shenishore betoch ha'kelim kinitzka. Shem bechinas dinim gemurim k'moshis ba'as. So the higher level, the more or quote unquote mu'ulim, better or stayed in the world of Atzilus, which is kula elukus, no ra there. Lo yigoru ra, there's no ra there, no taruos. Ma she'enkin the nitzutz, the Rafach nitzutz, which are the lesser, quote unquote gerua, whatever that means, lesser in quality, went down into bi'ah. And they are dinim gemurim. Do you hear that? That's why Eretz Edom, right? Dinim gemur. That means, you understand what had to happen here? We had to separate the dinim from this world of Atzilus. We didn't want any dinim there. When kula rachamim, kula elukus. That's why I had to break to release the dinim chele. Dinim gemur k'moshim l'chein niva'at chila seder ha'oretz u'madregosam u'ma'alosam ze lemala. Therefore, we have to differentiate now. Now the Rizal is setting us up now. He's telling us how to analyze now these 288. They're not straightforward. They're not just haphazard sparks of light that blew up from the original lights, but rather they're all b'cheshbon according to the level of dinim.
Where do you see that? You just said it's grew and doesn't explain anything.
Well, so what do you want to know?
Where do you see any cheshbon?
We're going to see the cheshbon soon. It's coming up.
Oh, you see.
Yeah, next page, the cheshbon. So the Kerem Shlomo Oizhe explains to us that there are two bechinos over here. He says the Rafach Nitzutzes is referred to something as Or Makif, which is Pshat is it hovers above. Or Makif is the Pshat hovers above other kelim, right? Like we find the Tagim on the Ois. The Tagim, the Ois, is something which is above the above the kelim. That represents, we see in Shaar Tanta or Shaar Nekudim pereck Vav, explain to us that the Tagim represents the Rafach, means it's hovering above. Mashken, over here we find a different type of Rafach, which is interesting. We're talking about the as I explained to you, the Rafach chelik which goes inside the kelim. Okay, so there's no steel. There's two types of Rafach. One which is bechinas or makif, and there's a Rafach which is betoch kelim. Not to be confused. That answers up a few steels. Let's continue. Now we're going to get a bit technical. No dahu ki kol oretz shel atzilus kulam he bechinas havaya. You have to know all is all. All is all, which is the bechina of Havaya. Okay, every time you say Havaya in the Kavanas or whatever, when we're doing in the Kavanas share, Kavanas, the all is always depicted by Havaya. V'nodeki alba bechinas Havaya. Since we know there's 4 different types of Havaya. O, the first one is Havaya the Milu Yudim, Shu Gematria Ab Kazeh. Yud Vav Dalit K Yud Vav K Yud. That's the first one. That's Ab. That's 72. The second type of all that we find, Havaya the Sag, Kazeh, Yud Vav Dalit, K Yud Vav Aleph Vav, K. These you just have to memorize. These come over and over and over again, okay? The only difference between the first Havaya, the Ab, and the second Havaya, the Sag, is just the Aleph in the Vav. In Ab, Vav is spelled Yud Vav, and in Sag, it's spelled Vav Aleph Vav. That's the only difference between them. The third type of Havaya the Ma Kazeh, Yud Vav Dalet K Aleph, Vav Aleph Vav K Aleph. So that's called the Yud. That's called the Havaya the Alafim, because you see there's 3 different Alephs there. And then finally the last Havaya that we know. Again, these are the 4 main building blocks. Or Havaya the Ben Kazeh, Yud Vav Dalet K Vav Vav K, which again spells the gematria of 52, which is Ben. Okay. Now, Neva'at bechinas Havaya the Ab. Now we're going to concentrate on Ab. Mema sheniz bayer, mema yidbaru Shaar Havayas. And from this we'll learn sort of a binyan Ab, because from it, once we learn the definitions of Ab and the Nitzutzos and so on, we can also obviously understand how the other ones work as well. Pshatu, this is the Pshat. Pshatu, ki hashorosh ha'orot ikruisam.
Poshut.
Huh?
Poshut.
Sorry, I said Pshat. Poshut, right. Sorry. Hine, Pashut hu ki hashoresh ha'orot ve'ikruyusam shalehem, the shoresh of the or and the ikar part of the or, hu arba oises havaya. Pshutim bilti milui. You have to understand that in the same way you learn Lashon HaKodesh, they always teach you, you see these long words, you've never seen a Chumash, you don't know how to read a Chumash in Hebrew. Everybody knows that in every word there's a shoresh to the word. So there's a lot of, let's say 5 or 6 letters. The way you learn to read is that you don't look at all the letters in one go, you look at the shoresh of the letters, which is either 2 or 3 letters. Same thing over here. You see these long shemas, the 10 letters. Don't be deceived. You have to understand the shoresh is always Yud Kei Vav Kei. That's the shoresh of all things. Well, Alba always have Yud Kei Vav Kei, which is called Poshut. This is called the Poshut. Bilti Milui. Ve'em Bechinat Atzmuso. That's called the Atzmus of the all. Omnam Zil Bechinat Za'oisios Atzman B'tzuros Mamish. And this is the Bechinat of the Oisios Atzman as they are. Omnam יש גם כן בחינס אחרת, והוא בהיוס בחינס מספר וחשבון באופן זה. You said there's a whole parsha called Gematrias, right? We know the Gematrias of Chatan Kala and go, right, that's not what we're speaking about here. We're talking about, besides the actual oisios of Yud Kei Vav Kei, which is the atzmis of the all that we're dealing with, besides it, you can also take the Gematria of it. Cheshvan, the Gematria. וכמו אם נאמר כי 4 oises הוואי הם gematria chavav, like we can make the cheshbon, Yud Kei Vav Kei comes out to 26. ואין ספק קיצור של oises עצמן הוא יויסר שורש ועיקר או יויסר בבחינס מספר וחשבון. So again, we have 2 ways to look at it. You have Yud Kei Vav Kei in front of you, David. So how are you going to look at it? You can either view the letters shabo, or you can view the gematria value shabo. 2 ways of istaklos here. Zok the Arizal, the more you look at the letters, that's the ikar all. The more you start descending in different ways of translating and understanding the Shem by cheshbonis and misporim, then that already that's a lower level. Okay, 2 levels. Hine kol zehu b'bchinas aponim. Ponim. Again, as we know, everything is.
These are interchangeable.
Excuse me?
The way you...
2 different ways of touching up anything. When you look at something, you're looking at the actual the lettering, or you're looking at the bechina of the gematria level. It's a different. You get 2 different types of information from it. Okay. There's another different aspect. Now, there's also called panim ach. We saw this many times. The panim means the more meyuchdika ikar part of the sphera, and something called the ach, which is an inferior bit. So that's what it says here. Kol zehu b'chinas panim. When you said Yud Kei Vav Kei, we said it's b'panim. Ki gam ken yesh bahem b'chinas achorayim shel ha'orod, v'gam ken yesh bahem shtei b'chinas ha'nizkoros, shehem tzuras ha'oisios kemo shehem, or b'chinas misparam or cheshbon. So 2 other categories we're going to deal with: panim and ach. Panim is the straightforward reading, Yud Kei Vav Kei, and the Achuchaim would be something like in Ribuim. So you'd spell the Yud Kei Vav Kei differently. You spell Yud and Yud Kei Vav, Yud Kei Vav Kei. That's a Ribui. Now, as well, we have to add in the other facet that you can read those 2 in 2 different ways. You can read it by the fact that you're reading the actual letters, or you can take the gematria value. Again, we'll maybe send around the chart to make this more tangible. But let's just read the words for the moment. We're nearly finished. V'gam ze b'chinas acher, v'gam yesh b'chinas acher. Another facet we have to take into consideration in order to analyze this whole process of Rafach Nitzutza. V'hi alba oisios shel Shem b'yois b'miloi. Okay, another combination we can make. We can make the miloi. That means the Yud Kei Vav Kei. Let's take the Yud. You can spell Yud Vav Dalet, Kei Aleph. So you start spreading it out, opening it up. Azhem b'chinas shel dinim. The more you open it up, the more you're taking it from this poshet stage into the dinim stage. Ki milui hu gematria elokim. You can ask me, why is it that? Because that's the gematria, and the gematria always tells us the inner understanding of the whole thing. Therefore, the more you memale, spread it up and magnify and look more into detail, you're entering into the realm of dinim, which is the milui, which is the gematria of elokim. V'od ki shorosh shel havaya hem arba oises asman. And the shorish of the Havaya, they are Dalit Oises Atma. Aval Miluyim, Hu Bi'ur Shel Havaya V'yitziut Oroter L'chutz. Now, interesting title for me, I underline this, that Milo is Pshat is that when you're opening up, it's not only you're magnifying and seeing more details coming out of it, but rather it's the Pshat is that the O is coming out. You're losing all type of thing. You're being mashpia. That is more b'derech chutz b'derech dinim. It's a hezben dinim. Why is it called dinim? Because again, this yitzir. וגם בחינס מילו יש בהם בחינס אויסיוס כמו שהם בעצמו ובחינס חשבון ומספר וחשבון. Also you have these are the two categories you have to reckon when you're dealing with the miloi. You also can look at the miloi as the wording shabo, you can look at the gematria shabo. והדרך זה בחינס רבות לאין קץ. You can continue, you can say miloi או מילוי המילוי או מילוי המילוי המילוי. Right, you can keep on opening it up. You can keep on opening up the lettering till ad ein kates ve'ein od tachlis. Right, that will give you more and more information about what you're dealing with. The more you're opening up, the more you can tell things about it. Like some people I know in Arizal, once we met, that you can give them your name, and the fact that they look at the oasis, your name, and they open it up. But this process of miloi, they can tell you more and more about your character traits, because every letter has to do with a different bechina, and the more you open up, then you Pshutik Mashma can tell about everything about a person. Okay, so we'll stop it here, and Hashem will again. It might be a little bit fuzzy, the whole Indian Rafach, because it's something new we haven't learned it. And Hashem, we're going to see charts next week about the Rafach, and things will become more clear, and we'll get more into detail about this as well. Okay, so we'll stop here. Shkar.